After the allegations surrounding Ava Chris Tyson came out around 2 months ago now, MrBeast obviously stated over on his Twitter page that he would be getting an investigator involved to try and find out what was really going on and to try and do it as fairly and as well as possible, right? Well, we finally got an update from said investigation. So let's roll our minds back to the 25th of July. Over the last few days, I've become aware of some serious allegations of Ava Chris Tyson's behaviour online, and I am disgusted and opposed to such unacceptable acts. During that time, I've been focused on hiring an independent third party to conduct a thorough investigation to ensure I have all the facts. That said, I've seen enough online and taken immediate action to remove Ava from the company, my channel, and any association with MrBeast. I do not condone or support any of the inappropriate actions. I will allow the independent investigators the necessary time to conduct a comprehensive investigation and will take any further action based on their findings. So that was obviously back on the 25th of July that post was made. 18 hours ago, there was an update in which MrBeast tweeted stating, and he commented on this stating, a 3-month investigation into allegations regarding my company has been concluded. The law firm / investigators reviewed millions of documents and messages and conducted 39 interviews. I was asked to refrain from making any public statements to enable a detailed and unbiased investigation. Below are their conclusions. So this came in on November 1st, 2024 via email, Board of Directors, MrBeast LLC, regarding internal investigation, key findings and conclusions. Dear Board of Directors, as you know, on July 2024, MrBeast LLC, the company, engaged Quinn Emanuel Urquhart and Sullivan LLP to conduct an internal investigation into specific allegations made publicly, incidents reported internally, and issues raised by employees in interviews, including with respect to the current and or former company personnel in the company's workplace environment and culture. At your discretion, Quinn Emanuel immediately launched a comprehensive investigation which has now concluded. The following sets forth certain key findings and conclusions from the investigation without waiving any applicable privileges, including but not limited to the attorney-client privilege and work product protection. As an initial matter to protect the investigation's integrity, on July 31st, 2024, Quinn Emanuel requested that a former employee, Dawson French, cease making public allegations against the company, as those were the topic of the ongoing investigation. We also requested that current employees refrain from public comments to ensure the investigation yielded accurate information and that witnesses were not tainted. The intent was to foster candid interviews and complete cooperation with investigatory process. Quinn Emanuel conducted 39 interviews and current and former employees, over 4.5 million documents, that's important, so bear that in mind, collected from mobile phones, emails, telegrams, Discord, WhatsApps and Slack, and were processed for review. The collaboration and cooperation sought at the outset were achieved throughout this process. Quinn Emanuel thoroughly investigated all public allegations and any others that arose during the investigation. The investigation proceeded with the following significant findings. Allegations of sexual misconduct, e.g. PDF files, grooming, child CP, between the company employees and minors are without basis. The allegations were soundly rejected, including the alleged victims. Allegations of the company knowingly employing individuals with proclivities, or histories towards illegal or questionable legal conduct are similarly without basis. Here too, the allegations were uniformly rejected. That's obviously with regards to Jake the Viking's brother-in-law. Several isolated instances of workplace harassment and misconduct were identified in the investigation. The company was informed of such conduct and took swift and appropriate actions to address the incidents, including, when necessary, disciplining and letting go of implicated individuals. As you are all well aware, the company has grown exceedingly quickly from a YouTube startup comprised of a group of talented young individuals to a much larger entity. It is not uncommon that policies and practices essential in a mature company would lag behind commercial success. This appears to have been the case here and has, in certain instances, allowed for inappropriate conduct. It is clear that the company is committed to remedying historical issues and creating a mature culture where problematic behaviours are not tolerated as it enters a new phase. The company has already implemented or is in the process of implementing changes to ensure safe and professional corporate culture today and moving forward. These included sending a clear message regarding the tone at the top, hiring the new Chief Executive Officer, Chief People Officer and General Counsel, and soon to be hired Chief Financial Officer, implementing mandatory corporate training for all employees, developing new policies codified in the employee handbook, establishing an anonymous reporting mechanism / hotline for employees, swiftly terminating individuals who violated company policy regardless of their position or level within the company, identifying additional employees for targeted training and executive coaching to address professionalism and compliance within the company. This officially concludes our investigation. We remain available if you have any follow-ups or further questions. Very truly yours, Alex Spiro. So, those were the findings of the investigation that MrBeast had take place. And there were a lot of people that obviously jumped straight on this. So, drama alert. MrBeast denies any misconduct that took place in his company after the investigation completes. They found no PDF files, no grooming, no CP. Obviously, you know, that was exactly what MrBeast would have wanted from this. But someone did quite an extensive breakdown of this, right? And they went on to state, let's do some math. The statement says that there are over 4.5 million documents and messages that were reviewed. But let's be generous and say that it was exactly 4.5 million documents, which, by the way, is a hell of a lot. This has been ongoing investigation since around July 24, 2024, when Jimmy made his first statement, which is exactly 100 days ago. Being as generous as possible and assuming the investigation started on that day and ended today, November 1st, 2024, it's likely somewhere in the middle. Here is how fast the team would have needed to review all of these messages. And this is where it gets absolutely crazy. And this is where people are like, this doesn't make sense. Like 2 and 2 is making 5 right now. So since July 24th, 2024, excuse me, there have been 69 business days, excluding weekends and holidays. That would mean that they reviewed 65,217 messages and documents per day. 65,217 divided by an 8 hours a day for an 8-hour workday equals 8,152 messages and documents per hour. And that broken down into minutes averages out at about 136 messages and documents per minute. So essentially, the MrBeast investigation team were reading and investigating over 2+ messages / documents per second. That would include the actual physical time that it takes to read the messages and documents with your eyes, along with any time allocated for taking notes, communicating with other members involved in the investigation via email, phone, etc., reporting to higher-ups, organising the data for the investigation through spreadsheets or other means, various small breaks, other ongoing investigations for the company employees, etc. Now, I personally am not going to claim I know what happens in these internal investigation companies. Maybe it's totally normal place. However, that's just the math. So do with that what you will. Now, you know, obviously a lot of people were saying like 4.5 million documents in 100 working days is, or, you know, let's say that it was exactly 100 days that they worked for, 69 working days. That's a hell of a lot. Now, obviously, we don't know how big the company was or the investigation team. There could have been 100 people working on this, which, you know, if you do the maths, it's possible that that size of team could investigate all of those documents in that space of time. But a lot of people were, were questioning the maths here and whether it was physically possible. But shortly after the investigation dropped, it was stated by multiple news outlets that MrBeast is hiring a CEO and firing multiple employees after the internal investigation found workplace harassment and misconduct at his company. So obviously here, is what the investigation found. You know, it's basically what we've already gone over. But as a result of the MrBeast's in the process of making a number of changes to the company, not only will he be hiring a new CEO, CPO, CFO, and general counsel to advise company from the top down, he's also terminated, as of yet, an undisclosed number of employees, which obviously is pretty substantial. So even though they state that they've not really found anything, they must have found something for it to warrant this kind of big of a turnover, you know? And of course, you know, Rosanna Pansino being Rosanna Pansino at the moment, she was, of course, jumped straight on this when she heard about it, retweeting it, stating, if your own paid-for internal investigation leads to a new CEO and finds workplace harassment and misconduct, as well as multiple firings, I think it might be time for a bigger investigation. And then the top comment here was, we investigated ourselves and found ourselves innocent, which, you know, I don't necessarily agree with that, because I think, you know, he did state that it was a third-party investigation that took place. It's not like MrBeast took the investigations himself, but multiple people did kind of take this angle of, we've investigated ourselves and found ourselves innocent. You know, I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but obviously it begs the question of the legitimacy and the thoroughness of the investigation that took place. But there is a video that is going viral right now, which is from someone who apparently says that the FBI has apparently found CP on MrBeast's phone. Now, the legitimacy of this is yet unfounded, but seeing as I'm covering absolutely everything, I would be remiss to also to just miss this part out.
MrBeast got caught with what? I wake up and this is the first thing that I see on TikTok. Do you see my hair? I'm not ready for this. For legal purposes and the fact that I really don't know what's going on, allegedly, the MrBeast got caught with child on his stuff. And apparently, allegedly, he may have done some cannibal. What? Now, you see, I had seen people talking about MrBeast and saying that, like, he's the Antichrist. And, you know, with everything going on in Hollywood, I kind of thought that. I was like, yeah, maybe because he got rich really fast and this and this and that. But, you know, allegedly, whatever. I don't know the guy. You know, I can't say for myself that he actually is a bad person. But, apparently the FBI done caught him. Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, MrBeast challenges are over. Honestly, truly sorry to anybody who was like a super huge MrBeast fan. This is why you gotta be careful who you idolize and who you like, because you don't know what people are doing behind closed doors. You really don't.
Now, obviously, it was an unfounded statement made, but a lot of people are stating that this is the case. Again, completely unfounded claims. We don't know whether that is categorically true or false or whatever. So at this point, we're just going to run with the facts, which is the investigation that was released by MrBeast himself, as that is a verified source of information, of course. And, you know, the speculation that goes with it, you can make up your own assumptions and minds on. But what do you think about this investigation done into MrBeast's company? What do you think about the turnover of staff? And what do you think... How do you think this is going to impact MrBeast moving forward? Let me know your thoughts and opinions on all of this down in the comments below. While you're down there, jump to get the hell out of that like button. And until next time, I'll speak to you later.